Hi, everybody. Sorry for the gap in the book writing efforts, but it's been a bit of a busy stretch. But we're back on track with Chapter 8 of Eyes to See the Wind, the upcoming book of hospice stories and songs that I'm hoping you'll find very inspiring, whatever stage of life you may be. Thank you all for supporting on Patreon, those of you who are there. I'll jump right into it. This is the first draft of Mother Goose. I asked her, if you could pick a sign to give your grandson after you're gone, what would that be? I'll tell you the truth about old Mother Goose. She'll be with you through over tomorrow. And when sorrow appears, she'll nip your ear, let you know that she'll be smiling when she's flying next to you. She sat at the kitchen table, tapping her finger as she hankered for a cigarette. She was a tough, frizzy-haired woman who wasn't too happy about giving up one of her favorite things, but her diagnosis of stage 4 lung cancer and needing to be on oxygen most hours of the day challenged her to begrudgingly compromise. We talked about what mattered most to her looking back, and she was quick to share her story. She raised her grandson from a baby. I had to start all over again, and I loved every second of it. She looked over in the direction of his bedroom, where he preferred to be most days. She was older and wiser than when she was raising the daughter she took over for, but with wiser came older. She was dying, and she knew she didn't have much time left. As she tried to get more comfortable in the wooden chair, she said she couldn't help but worry about him. His hair was growing long and wild, with a patchy teenage beard bringing him to his 18th year. As she was saying goodbye, he was entering into a new season of adulthood. She'd been around. She said she knew how unfair the world could be, and he still was so innocent. She hoped he wouldn't have to get hurt in order to learn his lessons, that he could maintain his unguarded heart and a childlike outlook on life. Though she wrestled with her concerns, in her heart she knew he'd be all right. She just wished she could be there longer to watch him grow and to keep an eye on him. He would come out every now and then during our talks and nursing visits. He would shake my hand and say hello, but wouldn't make up much eye contact or carry a conversation. He seemed shy to me, and surely my presence as a hospice nurse reminded him of what he knew was coming for his beloved mother of a grandma. I let him know he was welcome to hang out with us any time I was there. She shared a story of how when she was younger she had a way with animals, specifically birds. Geese and ducks, for whatever reason, would flock to her and follow her around. Sometimes there'd be 50 to 60 of them at a time, going where she went and stopping when she stopped. There was one particular huge goose they named Bubba. He seemed more than an ordinary goose. He would come when called, peck on the door of the house to be let in, and would even attack people he thought were a danger to her. She had never met a goose like that before. It almost had a human-like quality to it, unlike any animal she'd ever met. As she went running on her daily exercises, he'd fly right beside her the whole time. As she went through the days preparing to eventually leave her grandson behind, I asked her a question that I'd never asked anyone before. If she had any say in it after she passed away, what sign would she choose to let him know that she was still watching over him? She thought for a second, then laughed in her raspy, good-natured smoker cackle. I'd come back as a goose and I'd kiss him on the ear. I'd just have to do a couple things that Bubba used to do, and he'd know it was me. I wrote them a song called Mother Goose and shared it with them that following month. She sat with her grandson and that shaggy pup sitting together on their couch, and in this song we celebrated her devotion, her faith in his future growth, and also the love that she had for him that would surely be with him over the remaining course of his life, wherever they both may go. Afterwards, she encouraged him to always remember the precious years they shared together, the lessons she taught him, the stories read by those many pages of childhood, and to keep his eyes open as time went on. She assured him she wouldn't be far. We can find hope in the little reminders of life, the quiet messengers that allow the presence of our loved ones to be felt again. Whether it be a giant goose, a tiny hummingbird, or a rose in a garden, love makes its appearances in the manifestations of life. We just have to keep our eyes and our hearts open to recognize them when they arrive. They help us remember the pages of the story so far, and show us how to be creative in writing our chapters ahead. To this day, I still wonder if she's visited him as a goose, like she said. I still keep a lookout every time I go to a lake. When you started to cry at your new life and open your eyes to a brand new room, she held you in mind. Oh my, you both had no idea what was growing on the vine. Ready for bed, she read tales that filled your head till you fell asleep and breathe your breath. Oh yes, the dreams that you were weaving with that gold inside your chest, and those young times full of late nights and nursery rhymes from that child. Now you let your hair grow wild. Ever it was about those old days. Remember the love, remember the love as you turn the page. Frost and the frights, maybes and mites blew through her mind of what your future would hold. She knows you'll be alright. That's right, because you'll have someone who loves you, even if she's far from sight. Those young times full of late nights and nursery rhymes from that child. Now you let your hair grow wild. Whatever it was about those old days, remember the love. Remember the love as you turn the page. I'll tell you the truth about old Mother Goose. She'll be with you through tomorrow. And when sorrows appear, she'll nip your ear, let you know that she'll be smiling when she's flying next to you. Those young times full of late nights and nursery rhymes from that child. Now you let your hair grow wild, yeah. Whatever it was about those old days, remember the love, remember the love as you turn the page. Whatever it was about those old days, remember the love, remember the love as you write your page.